NBC's Saturday Night Thrilogy returns this week, and the search is on.
Dark skies.
The Saturn launch could be sabotaged.
They were implanting him. The Pretender.
The plane crash is not exactly a lie. What did he mean by that?
Profiler.
These guys think they got Jack the Ripper on their hands.
Well, maybe they do.
Dark Skies, The Pretender, and Profiler.
See you soon.
Jay's back in Las Vegas for a classic Tonight Show with actor Mel Gibson and the hilarious Penn and Teller. NBC Tonight. Your local news is next.
And next on the news tonight, presidential debate. We are there. We'll have a live report. Then the search for a homeless man. Guess what? He just inherited $1 million. And what we saw at Madonna's house today, you'll see it too. Channel 4 News is coming up next.
Surprise! Want a really good surprise? Well, how about a grapefruit juice drink that's not bitter? Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Tangerine. Surprise!
It's sweet.
Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Tangerine is surprisingly sweet. It's not like any other grapefruit you've ever had.
Sweet.
So if you crave a better grapefruit taste, try surprisingly sweet Ruby Red and Tangerine from Ocean Spray.
Now, Paul Moyer, Kelly Lang, Fritz Coleman Weather, Fred Rogan Sports, Southern California's #1 newscast, the Channel 4 News at 11.
Another horrible soccer tragedy. It's breaking news from Guatemala City tonight, where a deadly stampede broke out earlier tonight at a World Cup qualifying match. At least 83 people were killed. More than 100 people were hurt, while the presidents of both competing countries sat in the stands. Good evening, everybody. It's 11 o'clock, and I'm Paul Moyer.
And I'm Kelly Lang.
We begin tonight with a long-awaited match that suddenly turned into one of the worst sports tragedies ever. Tonight, thousands of fans were trying to crowd into a stadium in Guatemala City. They had oversold the match. That was the problem. When suddenly the stampede began, security forces tried, but they just couldn't stop it in time. Chuck Henry following the story. He's here with the latest video and the latest information on the tragedy. Chuck?
Thanks, Paul. Hospitals in Guatemala City are at this hour filling up with hundreds of soccer fans, some of the thousands who refuse to be turned away from that oversold championship game. But a word of warning now. Our late satellite video contains some extremely graphic images. As the presidents of Guatemala and Costa Rica looked on, a human stampede, people crushing people. A desperate attempt by those on the bottom to just breathe, to get out of the stands alive. These are some of the hundreds who did escape, injured, bleeding, needing air. And here, lined up on the soccer field, are some of the 83 men, women, and children who did not. Some trampled to death, others suffocated. It happened here in Guatemala City, the Central American host to the World Cup qualifying soccer match. This man is lucky to be alive. He was picked up out of his shoes.
People were pushing and shoving, but it was impossible to do anything because we were jammed together.
Remember, all of this happened 45 minutes before the championship soccer game. People were coming into the stadium, even as bodies were being dragged out onto the field. Then the president of Guatemala spoke to the stunned crowd.
This is the most painful moment I've ever witnessed since I became president. What's happened tonight is one of the worst tragedies that's ever happened in our country, and it pains me deeply.
And there is still a lot of confusion in Guatemala City at this hour. It is possible that the final death toll could exceed the 95 who were crushed to death in a 1989 soccer match in England. Paul, Kelly?
So painful. Thank you, Chuck. Other big story tonight, the presidential debate. President Clinton and challenger Bob Dole met for a final showdown tonight in San Diego. The two candidates came out shaking hands, but it wasn't all friendly as it was in the last debate. This time, Dole went on the attack. Conan Nolan is live in San Diego. He has more on what happened there tonight. Conan?
Kelly, Bob Dole has been trailing Bill Clinton for the past several months across the country, particularly here in California. Here at the University of San Diego tonight, he was hoping to stir things up so that he could get back in the race.
Many American people have lost their faith in government. They see scandals almost on a daily basis. They see problems in the White House today.
Bob Dole wasted little time. The debate was only a few minutes old before he confronted the president on the issues of character and trust.
I think now that trust is being violated, and it seems to me we ought to face up to it, and the president ought to say tonight that he's not going to pardon anybody that he was involved in business with who might implicate him later on.
But Mr. Clinton did not take the bait, the incumbent responding instead to the questions from the carefully selected audience of undecided voters, not one of whom ever mentioned any of the several White House scandals. Clinton did not acknowledge Dole's new aggressiveness until an hour into the debate.
I hope we can talk about what we're going to do in the future. No insult ever cleaned up the toxic waste dump or helped an elderly person.
Both candidates repeatedly discussed issues specific to California, such as the economy.
If there's anything that's going to change America, it's get the economy to grow. He said we've had the best 4 years ever. That's not true.
If you believe that the California economy was better in 1992 than it is today, you should vote for Bob Dole.
Dole accused Clinton of ignoring illegal immigration and called for the passage of the anti-affirmative action Proposition 209.
Equal opportunity, but we cannot guarantee equal results.
But I do favor making sure everybody has a chance to prove they're competent.
Did Bob Dole land any punches tonight?
No, I don't think so.
How did Dole do today?
I thought he was great.
The Clinton campaign now moves to Orange County, and the Dole campaign will visit Riverside and Glendale. Republicans are saying they will make an effort to win all of California's 54 electoral votes. Conan Nolan reporting live from the University of San Diego. Back to you.
Okay, Conan, thanks. And so the next step is the election. You can exercise your right to vote on Tuesday, November 5th.
Kelly, a dramatic moment expected in a courtroom in Torrance tomorrow where the man accused of killing the model Linda Sobek is expected to take the stand in his own defense. Charles Rathman is accused of sexually torturing Sobek, then burying her body in the Angeles National Forest. Tonight, Sobek's family, including her mother and brother, wait anxiously for tomorrow when Charles Rathman takes the stand.
My opinion that my daughter looked pretty bad.
And she's gone, and she's not here to defend herself and tell you exactly what did happen. And
Right, and so maybe we'll find out exactly what happened when the monster on the end of the table takes the stand.
As you probably know, Charles Rathman has changed his story several times since his arrest. He now says it was consensual sex between them, and her death was an accident.
And tonight, an arson suspect is behind bars after a brush fire burned very close to home, scaring a lot of people in Roland Heights. The fire broke out early tonight near South Azusa Avenue and Colima Road. Right now, fire investigators are still there on the scene. Beverly White is live at the sheriff's station in the city of Industry. That's where the arson suspect is behind bars tonight. What do we know, Bev?
That's right, Kelly. The fire is at least 65% contained in the hills overlooking Roland and Hacienda Heights, and that's why the focus has shifted to here at the City of Industry Sheriff's Station. This is where the arson suspect is being held, a man accused of triggering that frightening fire.
And if it wasn't for the planes with dropping the retarder, I mean, it would have gone. There's no doubt about it, because they were coming over the hill. And so I guess there must be, like 50 yards from my house.
Homeowner Al Ikamura is a big fan of the LA County Fire Department and its use of the super scoopers to knock down the brush fire in his backyard. Aircraft moved in around 5 p.m. and made quick work of the wind-whipped blaze. The terrain was fairly rough, and everyone agrees the air attack made the difference.
Any first alarm brush assignments, the super scoopers are automatically responded. So they came out, they made some good water drops, and they were effective.
Residents evacuated for a short time from the homes in the line of fire, although none were damaged. The nearby equestrian center also appeared to be in danger, so animal lovers rushed to the rescue.
We saw the smoke from Colima, and we were on our way to the freeway to go to Los Angeles, and we just said, that's near the park, and so we just rushed right in here. And when we got here, there's the flames right there, and the horses are running around.
Yeah, the flames are right up the top of the hill here, which is all brush, and then there's houses right here, and if it comes right down to it, then you're worried about the embers flying. And
investigators believe the 30-acre fire was deliberately set. They've arrested a transient in connection with the case. 32-year-old Jose Bernardino is now charged with arson. His bail set at $75,000. Now, firefighters say tonight's blaze should serve as fair warning to all hillside homeowners that despite the change in seasons, the fire danger is still with us. Live in the City of Industry, I'm Beverly White. Back to you in the studio.
It sure is, Beverly. Thank you for the live report tonight. Today was the one-year anniversary of the Million Man March in Washington. And today, thousands of African Americans re-celebrated the day with what they are calling now the Day of Atonement. The Million Man March, led by Louis Farrakhan, brought a huge crowd to Washington, D.C. 1 year ago. In Los Angeles this morning, hundreds of men rededicated their lives to the ideals of the Million Man March. They pledged to recruit more volunteers and create new social service organizations in the process. The biggest atonement observation took place at the UN Plaza in New York City. Speaking behind bulletproof glass, Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan asked everybody to take a pledge against violence. Police estimated the crowd at 38,000 today in New York, but Farrakhan denounced the figure, saying the real figure was a lot higher than that.
And now Madonna watch. Photographers from around the world are hanging around outside Madonna's house trying to get the first coveted photograph of her new baby. We'll take a look. Today, one of our own photographers managed to get this video of a woman carrying what appears to be a tiny baby wrapped in a white blanket. Now, you could be looking at the very first video of Madonna's baby, Lourdes Maria, but nobody would tell us if that was indeed baby Lourdes. Meantime, outside the walls of the estate, elaborate bouquets, gifts, greetings keep arriving from a continuous stream of well-wishers. Lourdes Maria, born a celebrity.
So we don't know if our photo gets the $350,000 yet, do we?
We don't think so.
I doubt it.
No.
Here is a homeless man in Southern California dodging $1 million inheritance. Listen.
When was the last time you saw it?
Within the last 3 to 4 days.
Next tonight, the search for the homeless millionaire and why he doesn't want the money.
And then police say it is another case of teens gone wild. They trash a home and they lead police on a wild pursuit.
Plus this. As somebody blows up a van, but this could help protect us in the future. We'll explain.
And some exciting news for everyone who thinks there is somebody out there, way out there. We are going to Mars.
When? And look at this, folks. The Rockies covered with snow. Early winter is on the way. The forecast coming up. Please stay tuned.
You are watching the Channel 4 News at 11, Southern California's Emmy Award-winning newscast.
Closed captioning on NBC4 is made possible by the generous support of Robinson's May.
Later on the Tonight Show, Jay's in Vegas with Mel Gibson. Great actor, great director, but what kind of busboy is he?
Are you finished? The food here is garbage anyway.
Plus, actress Famke Janssen has Jay right where she wants him. The magic of Penn and Teller, a wise guy's guide to Vegas, and losing your shirt can be fun. Then Conan's got Mira Sorvino, NBC Tonight.
People are either radiators or drains, and I radiate my sunshine on everybody.
You are looking good, baby.
In fact, I get them to thank me for taking their money.
Wow.
The Saturns caught my eye from the first one I saw.
How do you like your Saturn? Keep your shirt on. I'm looking at the car.
People would be screaming and honking.
This is gorgeous. Get back in your booth. How about a look under the hood?
I must have talked to at least 2,000-3,000 different Saturn owners. Every single one of them absolutely loved their car.
Stay for Masha.
Big Night is the most celebrated film of the year.
Can you believe it?
One of those occasional miracles. Two very enthusiastic thumbs up, say Siskel and Ebert. What a wonderful movie, raves Michael Medved. Funny and beautifully acted. Completely delicious, says Time, a 4-star cast. And Joel Siegel claims you'll like Big Night so much, you'll want to come back for seconds.
Let's see.
Big Night, rated R, now playing at select theaters.
Take a good look. Do you know this man? He is 52-year-old Owen Walker. He is homeless. He is believed to be here in Southern California. And get this, he just inherited $1 million plus, but he's dodging the money. That's right, he's apparently running away from all that money. Wouldn't you like to have that problem? Somebody trying to give you $1 million, no strings attached. Arjo Rico says that if Owen does not take his money soon, he's going to forfeit his inheritance.
Closing up shop, calling it a day along the Venice Beach boardwalk. And still, no one's seen 52-year-old Owen Walker.
Looking for this fellow? That's an 8-year-old picture of it.
For 3 years, the nationwide hunt has gone on and finally narrowed to Southern California.
When was the last time you saw it?
Within the last 3 to 4 days.
We got drunk at the Sidewalk Cafe the other day.
Don Harmon has been on the hunt, desperately seeking Owen.
Doesn't look familiar to me.
Harmon, a probate investigator, is trying to find Owen Walker, a homeless Vietnam vet who, following the recent deaths of relatives, has inherited a bundle.
It's over $1 million.
Walker is known to hang out in the Venice Beach, Santa Monica, and Westwood areas. Friends say he knows he's inherited money, but wants nothing to do with his family.
He's like the black sheep of the family, but he's not worth anything. Okay? And he thinks this is just a hoax for his family to find him and drag him back home.
You're a psychic reader and advisor? Do you know where the guy is?
I still live in Santa Monica.
Tonight, Owen Walker is the talk along the Strand, many understanding why he's ducking out on possible riches. Still others wonder and dream, what if?
I would love to be the guy. I would look for him.
So, Owen Walker, wherever you are tonight, you have until November the 6th to sign on that dotted line and claim your inheritance, where all that money goes to the state of Illinois, where probate was originally filed. Joe Rico, Channel 4 News, Venice.
Oh, that probate investigator will keep on looking for the guy. We will let you know if he finds Owen and if Owen finally accepts his $1 million.
What a yarn, what a tale.
Yep.
Ohio police say it's an incredible story of teens gone wild. Apparently, it all began when two 17-year-olds allegedly went to the home of a third teenager, burglarized his home, and poured gasoline all over. Police tell it this way: they think the teens were going to set the house on fire, but the homeowner caught them in the act. Police say that's when the teens sped off in a van, lobbing the stolen items out of the windows as they took off. And police were in hot pursuit when the suspects jumped out and ran into the woods. The police caught the driver right away, but the second suspect kept on going. And when the police caught up with him, here is what he had to say.
I was coming down the road. I looked up and saw a UFO, okay? And this guy from nowhere with guns.
Okay, just what triggered all this in the first place? Police think it may have started as an argument at a high school soccer game. Kelly.
Whoa, okay, coming up the weather, looking live from our camera in Orange County. Fritz tells us what to expect next.
Then a bomb blows up a van, and why law enforcement will not have to look for the bomber.
And then a bowler goes berserk. Why? Freddie knows. He'll show us.
And a hospital offers something new to make the ordeal much easier on families.
And we're going to Mars. Yes, we are. Very soon. You'll see how, and you can come along as well. Stay tuned.
Tomorrow on the Channel 4 News, Los Angeles, home to movie stars, millionaires, and monkeys. It's true, the chimps are coming to town. At 4, we've got your first look at the new chimpanzee homestead at the LA Zoo. Swing on by tomorrow at 4.
On the next Access Hollywood, Robert De Niro's next super hot project.
That's a secret.
Not to us, Bobby. Hot hunks battle Brad Pitt and Michelle Pfeiffer's love scene secrets.
He exceeds all expectation.
On the next Access Hollywood.
Tomorrow at 7:30, here on NBC4.
The 280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8. Tempted?
Mommy, could I have some ice? Sure, sweetheart. Just a second.
Not everything was better the way it used to be, but the food sure was better. Like Carol's prime rib, slow roasted, tender and juicy, served with fresh veggies, baked potato and garlic bread, just $7.99. Carol's, food like it used to be.
What happened that night, no one expected.
Help here!
Any man can make a mistake.
I am a doctor here. Nothing gets in the way of that. Nothing.
Some can destroy a life.
You're on your own. We're not finished yet. Yes, we are.
ER you cannot miss.
Are you Dr. Ross?
A hero falls. ER, NBC Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Volvo wagon.
A series of explosions blow up a car and a van in Arizona today. But law enforcement will not have to look far to find out who did it, because the cops did it themselves, and for good reason. It was all part of a crime detection training program that took place in Tucson, Arizona today. Experts honing their skills at pinpointing the exact cause of an explosion. This van is rigged to blow up, and it does. Now forensic scientists have to figure out what made it blow. It starts with sifting through the wreckage, looking for unconsumed powder and fragments from the device. The experts hoping that they'll never have to use those skills, but they want to be ready. They have to do just in case.
Okay, here's Fritz. We're looking good, except maybe for Lily. Hi, Fritz.
Yes, we're going to talk about Lily. Lily's sort of moving tonight after spending a day of not moving. Well, folks, we're watching the Marine Layer. We have a fleet of Marine Layer tracking aircraft up tonight, and we're finding some mist being reported at March Air Force Base in Riverside, and some gusty winds in the high desert up to 31 miles an hour in places like Sandburg and Thermal and elsewhere. Outside tonight, this is our orange crush camera. Here are numbers. You can just see the gray indications that partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy. The marine layer is kind of thin but out there. Let's look at the numbers tonight. We had a high today of about 73 and a low 62. At the moment downtown we stand at 63, chilly night. It got chilly early. 81% relative humidity. Barometer rising this hour, 29.95 inches. Burbank Airport southeast winds at 6. Almanac data, 79 and 60 for the normals, and sun up tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock and setting at 6:17. Latest on Lily, right now 325 miles south-southeast of Havana. This thing will ultimately move to the north, and then beyond that to the northeast. Will not make landfall on the continental United States. However, southern and central Florida could get 6 to 12 inches of rain. Other areas not out of the woods. It will make landfall across western Cuba, but it should not across the United States. It was spending the day stationary, now moving north at about 7 miles an hour. And as we press onward now and take a look at, this is not actually my satellite picture. There we go. There. Let's go back to that picture. I don't know whose that was. That belonged to some other broadcast franchise, but it had nothing to do with what I was about to tell you. Be that as it may. No, that's not mine either. Well, we just used that. Anyway, just let me try to paint a word picture to you. We have this dense marine layer, a thick blanket of low clouds and fog that are up to about, 2,000 feet thick, and will burn off by mid-morning, ultimately hazy afternoon sun. But we're watching a lot of winter-type storms in the Pacific Northwest. One of those will bring rain tomorrow night as close as the Bay Area into Sacramento. Below that, what we get is a good, strong ocean influence to the point where Saturday we're going to have mid and late November temperatures, having a tough time breaking out of the 60s into the low 70s in downtown Los Angeles. So just imagine if that were the picture here, how adequately those words would have described our situation. Be that as it may, let's press on now. 80 tomorrow, and then we're going to cool it off. 74 and 74 on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm telling you, a lot of us will be in sweater areas. It'll be in the upper 60s on Saturday, a crisp, lovely, perfect fall day. I'm sorry about that. That was just...
Did you get something from the Today Show in there? Or maybe it was Kinnear.
No, actually, we had a series of satellites today, some having to do with tropical storms, some having to do with my regular weather, and I think those were confused. But I have my staff working on it right now. Hopefully no one will lose their job.
Your staff's never confused.
Huge staff.
Okay. Now, NASA is sending an unmanned rover to Mars, and we will get to see everything the rover sees. Take a look at this. This December, NASA will launch the Pathfinder. When it gets close to Mars, the Pathfinder rover will parachute down to the surface. Before it lands, a balloon will inflate to protect the instruments, and then after bouncing along the surface, the balloon will deflate to reveal the rover. There it is. It'll crawl along the surface of Mars over rocks and craters, and we will get to see what the rover sees, because those pictures it takes will be broadcast right on the internet. The rover is scheduled to land on Mars on the 4th of July, 1997.
I still can't believe we're doing that. I mean, that's just
We're
so
doing
incredible.
that.
We are doing it.
Yeah.
Coming up, a local hospital offering something new to make the whole hospital ordeal easier for you and your family.
And some good news for everyone who loved those famous polar bears, Klondike and Snow.
Also coming up, the Braves trying to make history in the NLCS, and he is 18, just out of high school, and playing in the NBA, the debut of Lakers' Kobe Bryant next.
The top 10 CDs of the week brought to you by Best Buy. Some places are known for great music. Best Buy is one of them.
What banker would give you a loan and carry you for 1 year without charging any interest? Well, this week at Best Buy, you can get no payments and no interest for 1 year on TVs, VCRs, camcorders, and select computers. So unless you can get a banker to carry you, come into Best Buy. It's just the store you've been shopping for.
Prepare the edible elastic material by disengaging it from its disposable enclosure. Insert directly into oral cavity and begin the softening process. Apply vigorous intermittent pressure of the dental units. Moisten lips thoroughly and commence the exhalation of a concentrated emission.
Just about anything can be made to seem complicated.
Exercise caution.
A computer doesn't have to be one of them. The Acer Aspire 2000 series with the Intel Pentium processor.
Yesterday, it was just an idea, a notion, a whim. A few hours ago, it was a yearning, a dream. And then, as if by magic, overnight it all came to be. Wishes crossed the sea, ideas took flight, and yearnings and cravings in all four corners of the earth were satisfied. It wasn't always this way, but with FedEx, it's the way the world works.
The Taurus is the best-selling car in America, and Ford's in a battle to make sure it stays there. With one of the best deals ever on a new 96. Now you can buy a Taurus with a low 1.9 APR. That's right, 1.9. Not for 2 or 3 years, but for 4 full years. Or $2,000 cash back. And that's before your dealer throws in his best deal. Get the best-selling Taurus with a 1.9 or $2,000 cash back and save some serious cash.
A Pasadena hospital is offering something new, hotel rooms at the hospital for family members. Huntington Hospital now offers complete guest facilities for family members. They call it the Huntington Oasis. Doctors say that patients are not as nervous about being hospitalized if they know that family members are nearby, and it's easier on the family members too. And the rooms are not too bad price-wise. $70 a room, not bad.
When
huh?
you think about that, that's a real good
Fabulous.
idea. Really
yeah.
is. I wouldn't want to be the St. Louis Cardinals. I think they're in deep trouble.
Tough spot to be in, I'll tell you. Atlanta Braves are trying to make history. No National League team has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a league championship series, but after tonight, Atlanta is just 1 win away from accomplishing that feat. But first, from tonight's presidential debate, Senator Bob Dole with this report.
Oh, yeah.
Let me first give you a sports update. The Braves won, Cardinals nothing. Early on.
Well, at least he knew what two teams were playing, and thanks for the update. We'll pick it up in the 5th. You just heard the score. Alan Bennis pitching to Mark Lemke. He singled up the middle. Jeff Blauser easily beat the throw home, and the Braves led it 2-0. Greg Maddux allowed 1 run on 6 hits in 7 2/3. 6th inning, Marquise Grissom. Nice play to rob Ray Langford of a hit. These two guys needed sunscreen number 50 from the looks of that burn. 9th inning, the fireman Mark Woller's on the hill facing John Mabry in strike 3. That's it. The Braves won 3-1 to even the series at 3. Game 7 tomorrow in Atlanta. Tom Glavine and Donovan Osborne, the probables. NHL Mighty Ducks home opener tonight at the Pond against the Flyers. From the rafters came the new and improved Wild Wing, meaner and leaner and taking no prisoners. First period tied at 1. Steve Rushin to former King Warren Reichel, who pulled the trigger and beat Ron Hextall. The Ducks led it 2-1. Second period, Ducks still leading 2-1. Hextall tried to clear the puck, but Teemu Solani stole it back, fired it for his 5th goal of the season, 3-1 Ducks. But the lead didn't last. Tied at 3. John Druce's shot blocked by Guy Hebert, but Pat Falloon knocked in the rebound. Flyers rally from 3 down to beat the Ducks 4-3. Elsewhere, Montreal and the Rangers won. San Jose and Florida ended in a 3-3 tie. NBA, the Clippers lost to the Hawks tonight 95-60. They shot only 23% from the field. To make matters worse, they have lost guard Brent Berry with ligament damage in his thumb. He is listed day-to-day. Meantime, Lakers and Fresno taking on the Mavericks. The debut of 18-year-old Kobe Bryant. Shaquille O'Neal chewing the gum. Shaq, do you have enough for everybody? First half, Cedric Ceballos to O'Neal for the easy jam. He had 12. Second quarter, Kobe Bryant getting loose and ready to get into the game. His mom and sister looking on. He didn't disappoint. Off the missed shot. The 18-year-old grabbed the board, started the break. Check out the nice pass to Corey Blount for the jam. Lakers led by 10. Later, Bryant went to Eddie Jones. Back to Kobe. 4-3, his first NBA field goal. Lakers led by 4 at the break. Second half got a little ugly. Jerome Kersey grabbed the garbage. Long pass to Bryant. He had 10 in his pro debut. Not bad for a guy who still lives with his mom. Lakers 3-0 in the preseason after a 90-80 win. Finally, you know, they say there's no more emotion in sports. Everybody is in it for the money. Well, we take exception to that, and as an example, we offer up Marshall Holman. Let's go to Troy, Michigan. Last night, final frame of the Pro Bowlers Ebonite Open. Marshall Holman going for the clincher and the victory. Marshall came through and then exploded in ferocious emotion.
Yeah, baby!
He likes it.
Yeah! I'm back! I did it! I can't stand it! Alive! How do you like it? Alive!
But Marshall was far from done. He simply couldn't stand it.
No.
I can't stand it! Whoa!
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much! Thank you very much! How do you like that?
Marshall's win was worth $22,000, and what would have happened if Marshall could stand it?
I don't know.
That's the question.
But if the Guyver bowls a 300 game, I'm out of here. I don't want to see that.
You got it.
Okay. Freddie, coming up, great news for Klondike and Snow fans.
We could be in for a replay.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Channel 4 Sports is sponsored by Southern California, Chrysler, and Plymouth. It's the way we get around.
If we all settled for good enough, would things ever be good enough?
The luxurious Chrysler LHS. Now get a lease for just $359 a month. The Chrysler LHS. This goes way beyond good enough.
Hi, Rick and my guide dog Jake again, here to announce the first ever half-off offer from AirTouch. Just sign up now and get half off your first 3 months access charge for AirTouch cellular service. Plus, get a free 3-in-1 superphone with a pager and answering machine built in. So now you can get a free phone and half off your monthly access. Of course, you still have to dial the whole phone number, 1-800-AirTouch.
AirTouch Cellular. An easy call to make.
There's a lawsuit gold rush measure on our ballot that opens a loophole in U.S. law, flooding California courts with East Coast lawyers filing frivolous lawsuits outlawed in federal courts. Multi-million-dollar lawsuits against some of California's best companies. Frivolous lawsuits making securities lawyers rich at the expense of the rest of us. Sound like a scam? Well, look who wrote it. A few wealthy securities lawyers wrote it. We don't need it. Stop frivolous lawsuits. No on Prop 211.
What are you going to do with your tank of gas?
Okay, here they are from your official Southern California Lotto station. Tonight's official winning Super Lotto numbers. They are 5, 16, 23, 28, 41, 45. The jackpot, $21 million. We wish you all good luck.
Like Marshall. Okay, remember Klondike and Snow, those two adorable polar bear cubs that grew up at the Denver Zoo? Well, we may get to watch that happen all over again. This is Ulu. She is Klondike and Snow's mother. The zoo has been watching her and her mate, and they think that she may be about to give birth again. They're not sure, but they suspect. Klondike and Snow are living in Orlando now, by the way. They're not babies anymore. Klondike, for example, look at him. Wow. He weighs 500 pounds. Yeah, big guy.
You know, there's a moose on the loose in Ira, New York, and experts think he might be a little confused by love. This bull moose has been hanging around Ira for weeks. Apparently very confused and not just about his surroundings. See, local farmers say that this moose is making a pest of himself by showing an amorous interest in their cows. Wow. Still, they think it's kind of fun having him around so far. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll be on top of that one. That's going to do it for us tonight. Do not forget to in LA. That's at 5:30.
Yeah,
and 6:30 in the morning.
Be right on that one. Stay tuned for the #1 late night talk show in these United States tonight. Jay welcomes
Mel Gibson and Penn and Teller. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.